What's the weirdest compliment you ever received? I was admiringly told by a female anthropology professor in class that I have a very robust cranium. This made me robustly laugh out loud. You remind me of Kermit the Frog. Not in looks, in vibes. This is a very weird compliment, but I totally understand and dig it. I mean, the Muppets are at, but it was said while I was handing somebody food and talking in a completely monotone voice, haha. I had a girl tell me she'd like it if I got hit by a car so she could cradle my head and stroke my hair as I died. My eyes nearly popped out of my head reading that. WTF. If your eyes pop out of your head and you start bleeding to death, can I cradle your head and stroke your hair as you die? A random woman outside a cafe beside a train station as I get chased by a wasp. You smell very sweet and spicy. That's why he's chasing you. It's very nice. Thank you, random lady. 2 years later, and I'll never forget. I was the only one getting bitten by mosquitoes at a BBQ and a random man said, "I'm not surprised. Your skin looks so soft I'd bite you." Please don't. Sounds like you missed out on a great opportunity. My wife, you have a nice shaped skull. Physiognomy moment. Of course you'd say that. You have the brain pan of a stagecoach tilter. You smell organic. Was this person on mushrooms or acid at this point in time? Yes. A girl in high school told me I have really pretty knees. Was this compliment in a please get on your knees and tango frick my fart box kind of way, or a your knees would make a welcome addition to the perfect man I'm building in my basement kind of way? Only these two options, nothing in between. Your mind is like a kaleidoscope. I can't figure out if that's a compliment or not. Fun for just a minute or two, but kinda repetitive and pointless. Not a compliment in my opinion. From a coworker's partner, a Japanese woman, speaking English, you have a big eyelash. I'm jealousy. As a man, I don't get a lot of eyelash compliments. I have long eyelashes and blue eyes, so I get compliments a lot about my eyes. What sucks is wearing sunglasses cause my eyelashes rub against the lenses. Nobody believes me that this is a problem, lol. I have to wear sunglasses loosely or constantly feel my eyelashes bending upwards. An older woman said I had nice skin. I'm a dude if it matters. It came across as a I'd like to wear it, but then later that evening I realized the party I was invited to was actually a sales pitch to join some pyramid scam to sell skin products. So it was less weird in retrospect, but clearly something had gone wrong. Nice flesh bro. Sweet epidermis guy. I like how you look at me like you are going to kill me, my GF at the time. In her defense, my resting face does look kinda mean, lol. Resting bish face gang. You're short but I bet your cock is massive. Random girl, college hallway. Hate to intrude, but by chance was she correct? I'm 5 feet 3 inches. Those are 2 separate measurements. Your nose is so pointy, I bet it would fit right into my pussy. In low bro English accent. Oh you're a right chicken looking idiot ain't ya mate. Go on and mash me gash with chap eek why don't chap, come on love, with a nozzle like that, I bet you can smell what I ate for breakfast. Jesus. That I looked like I belonged on a shortbread tin. I have no idea what this means. Are you white and crumbly? Yes. I was late for school and decided not to shower so I could catch my bus in time. I arrived to school, say hello to a girl I barely knew. She comes up to me, smells my sweaty shirt, and says, "Damn, you smell really good." Yeah, that was a creepy way to start the day. Very similar thing to me as well, but it wasn't the girl I didn't know well. It was the girl who worked at the subway on campus, and I'd have a sub basically every day. But one day, when I was really musty, she asked me if I was wearing cologne, and that I smelled really good. Coworker, female, asked me, male, what I did with my hair, said it's looking good. Didn't shower for 2 days, combed greasy hair to one side, WTF. You have juicy veins. I'd love to take blood from them from a friend who works in pathology. I too have a friend in pathology who says things like that. These people are called vampires. Your peen is normal, but you could shape up a bit. Alternatively, while doing CPR on an inmate, a nurse showed up to relieve me and before doing so said, "You look like you're good with your hands. How else do you use them? You look like you're good with your hands. How else do you use them? Thanks. I've been told my peen is normal, too. But I also need to shape up, so maybe next CPR." My first child had been born a few weeks ago. I came back to work, and one of the bosses said, "Oh, congratulations on your news, yeah, good luck with that." Sounds like the boss clammed up mid-sentence, because he/she suddenly couldn't remember if you had a boy or a girl. Congratulations, it's a news. Someone called me submissive and breedable in a Tesco's. You're not alone, friend. Someone called me that the other week. It still pains me to this day. God bless you. Worst part is, I'm 6 feet 2 with slight facial hair, and I'm a weird adult teen creature just trying to buy a pizza. Where is the correlation between tree spirit and being a sub? Despite what everyone says about you, I still think you're quite fun. I'd heard this is a joke and used it sometimes. I don't care what everyone else says about you. I still like you. I use that exclusively as an insult, mayo. I don't care what everyone else says. You're actually very smart. I was told by a random lady walking past me in the mall that I had a really large bright aura. I looked at her kinda confused and she just said she was gifted that way and to have a nice day and kept walking. Sometimes if I stare at people long enough they get an aura, but that's just my retinas having an after image around them, like the stare at this then look elsewhere images. Your ears look like tortellini, delicious. Finally, some good food. Nice earlobes. I had this too in school. Girl used to love touching them. She'd always ask when we shared a class. I knew a girl who used to do this to me. It freaked me the frick out as a kid. Obligatory not me, but during a high school spring trip to New York City, someone told my classmate, in red top and pants, she looked like a sexy bottle of ketchup. Secondly, while picking up after a city festival around 2 AM a guy came wasted out of a bar and yelled to the group of us, "Hey trash girls, you can pick me up." Cheers. I honestly love the second one. That's really funny. I think it's funny because he's referring to himself as trash very confidently. That I have a very swan-like voice. She didn't actually know what swans sound like. She was complimenting me on how I said your coffee will be ready over there when we were both working at a coffee shop. I totally was able to imagine your voice from that description though. I didn't think honk like a goose, but more of the visual beauty of a swan and how a swan-like voice would be very melodic and beautiful. This is totally a compliment. You look it'd be fun to take to Colorado, said the man to me in a gas station. He liked my choice of drink. I'm just broke, and PBR isn't that bad. As someone in Colorado, if you picked out PBR, I don't think it was really a compliment. More like you should try some real drink. Don't take this as my thought. I enjoy PBR and admittedly Budweiser on occasion. But Colorado craft drink dudes are really into their drinks. He's not even from Colorado. I've seen him at my shop and he says weird things all the time. You're really cute. I bet you have cute aunts, just Doug. Also, I said that he stated that he liked my choice of drink. I wish I didn't have a cold because I really want to smell you all over. My eyes were brown like a really nice table. That sounds like a compliment I've given someone before and now I feel weird. I told him his eyes weren't just brown, they're cherry, like really nice cabinets. I like your little hat. A girl working the Whole Foods checkout. I was having a socially awkward day and she was a bit awkward too. I think she found something endearing in how I was being and felt compelled to say something nice to me. It was just a basic wool hat / beanie for winter, not even that little. I still appreciated it and she was kinda cute. I was really hoping this story ended with you being a confused but curiously aroused Jew. Haha. I live in New York City so this world worked perfectly. Lots of little hats in my hood. A customer said I was such a beautiful woman and that every time he saw me, he wanted to go home and slap his wife. That's crazy. Slapping his wife isn't going to help her appearance at all. It helped Squidward. You look like one of them creepy Victorian dolls. Is that a compliment though? Your pubic hair curls in a cute way. Huh. I do find it pretty strange how curly pubic hair is. Dude, my hair is everything but curly, but my balls had a perfect afro. In high school, some girls told me I had a cute walk. I had never thought about how I walked before, but it really screwed me up for a while trying to make I maintained that cuteness, whatever it was. And realizing that I could be minding my own business and someone still find me attractive or unattractive. Girl, you have some scary ass cat eyes. But said it with a smile, so I think it was a compliment. An ex once picked up my hand and told me I had feminine delicate wrists. Also, you're so unique looking. Multiple times during my life. I'm a white brunette lady. I'm not unique looking, just not conventionally attractive. Still attractive though. I went to Mexico with a buddy about 10 years ago, and we were drinking with a bunch of people. Well, another group of people were standing near us and kept looking over and whispering to each other, staring at us until finally a few of them approached us. The one guy looks at me and says, "Are your calves real?" I was like, "Yeah, they're real." He turns to his friends and yells, "They are real." They all proceed to walk over and talk to us. A group of maybe 10 people complimented me on my calves. It was very weird. Why did you lie? You might fool them, but I know you have calf implants. Your eyes are so beautiful. I just want to scoop them out and replace them with my own. I wear sunglasses everywhere now. A wasted old sailor once told me the shape of the top of my upper lip was very nice. Very specific and very odd. He was nice though, gave me some, unsolicited but true, life advice as well. What was the life advice? He pulled me aside and told me not to depend on others to love me, and the most important thing is to love myself. I had to love myself first and never forget that. He said it with such weight that I just never forgot it. It was the father of my ex-boyfriend's colleague, so he didn't know me and we'd never met before. We just ran into him at the local bar and were hanging out and casually talking, and I was in a good mood, so nothing to indicate that I needed to hear something like that. But I guess he saw through me cause it was spot on. I was told that I had the healthiest ass the person speaking had ever seen on a white woman. And yes, I know what he meant by that. I have a big butt, and he meant it as a compliment. Had a girl I didn't know stop me at my new job and say, "Damn girl, I thought I had back. Never knew a white girl would make me jealous." Found some great places to shop and a good friend from that exchange, lol. In HS people referred to me as the white girl with the really big butt. Also, I was walking around with my husband and a girl leaned out of the window to yell, "I'm not a lesbian, but you have a great ass." That I looked pre-Raphaelite. I got this one too from a pretentious art major. At least they didn't say Rubenesque. I got called a pretty boy by a girl in Discord once. "You're looking slightly more normal today." What does that even mean? Am I not normal on the other days? That I'm vertically fat. What does that even mean? Is it a weird way to say you're tall? I'm so confused. It means that all of his obesity went to his legs, neck, and head. He is cylindrical rather than wide. He looks like Gumby, but not flat. Older lady, 60s. I was helping update her resume, said MMMM. "You have nice veiny hands." I love that. If she ever worked in the medical field I would totally understand that compliment. That's what I thought, but a female coworker explained to me some women just love veins on hands and arms of guys sometimes. I worked at a restaurant when I was 17 and a man came up to me and asked me if I could talk to this boy he had with him. He told me that the boy thought I was the most beautiful girl he'd ever seen and that I needed to talk to him because he was training for a boxing match and he needed to be free from distractions. In short, his logic was I needed to go over and talk to the young man so that he wouldn't be thinking about me during his boxing training. It was very strange. Did you do it? Yeah, so I was working, and I'm not trying to be cocky, but I'm a very hard worker. Always have been. And so when he came up to me, I was actually running around like crazy. Cleaning, running food, etc. I didn't have much time to think. So I just said okay, sure, and I walked over to him and said hello and introduced myself. He was very shy to the point where it was hard to hear him, and I just said something like it's very nice to meet you. And then he didn't really say anything and I needed to get back to work. And then they left and I've never seen either of them again. You're prettier than your sister. You can come here and tan yourself in my balcony anytime you want. Naked please. The asshole that my big sister used to date and now was trying to hang out with me. Fun fact, he was old enough to be my father, even my grandfather. You should went with him to the balcony, but unlike him, you will take the stairs. You're adorable, like someone with Down syndrome. Must hurt. You've got so much testosterone I could probably get pregnant sitting next to you. Random girl back in college. That's hilarious. I thought so too. It was over 20 years ago, and I remember it like it was yesterday. I had a girl compliment my body and say that she wanted to paint me nude using my own blood. Thank you. Bye bye. You have good birthing hips. 2 separate guys, 2 separate occasions. One dude was gay. Nothing compared to John Mulaney. No. That's the thing he's sensitive about. An older gentleman I regularly walk by on my way to work and have never exchanged words with randomly said to me one day, I don't know whether you want to beat me up or kill me, but you look at me with those beady little eyes and it's scary. But you are a sweetheart, I love you. I do, and honestly, as a petite young lady who tries to look intimidating as I walk alone, my day was made. I was working at a grocery store in the produce section. A lady walked up to me and said, "Excuse me, have you ever considered becoming a dancer? I own this company and we are looking for some good looking male dancers to go to bachelorette parties and birthday parties to entertain the women." I looked at her and said, "Ma'am, I believe if I showed up at their house they would slam the door in my face, but thanks." She walked off as I continued to nervously stock the Gala apples. I nervously the Gala apples all the time. What's the big deal? IKR. Like, I nervously the Gala apples on a daily basis, and people always look at me weirdly. Like seriously, what's the problem with nervously the Gala apples? You smell like dirt. My missus. She meant it in a good have you been gardening this morning way. Me. Pulls down mask to drink water. Girl I work with, you know most people take their mask down, and they look worse. You look good though. Me. Puzzled look on my face, thank you. Girl, don't worry, I like girls. A girl did this to me once at work too. I pulled down my mask, and she said, "Oh thank God you look normal." To be fair though, some of the people I worked with, when they pulled down their mask was not what I was expecting to see. Totally. You build up a mental image, based on the features you see, apply symmetry and proportions. Some people do not look too unlike. Then others are suddenly longer faced. Bigger nose, large mouth. Not in bad ways, but it shatters the expectations you had, which can be a little jarring. I work as a barista at Starbucks, and I have some interesting stories. One time this guy came in and ordered a caramel frappe. I asked him if that was all for him and he said, "Yes, unless I can get a Trenta review with my order." Now I'm very easily flustered, so I immediately started blushing, and he looked me right in my eyes and said, "You look beautiful with a blush across your face. It looks like a rose that was flattened by a car." Now I'm no flirt master, but I don't think that's how you get a girl. Haha, if I were the guy in that scenario it'd totally be a case of me not expecting the initial flirt to go as well as it did. So in an attempt to follow it up, my brain flatlines, and that's the best I can come up with on the spot. Back in the day, when I was a baby redditor, I made a very long text post talking about my custody situation on /r/men's rights. Don't ask me why I felt compelled to do such a thing. Of course, with me being a woman, it was controversial. One user accused me of being a troll, saying number 20-year-old woman would be this articulate and self-aware of her situation. Made my day. The most sexist/flattering remark I've ever heard. Well, I got called a twink once. I weigh 200 pounds, and I'm stereotypically masculine/dominant. Plot twist, the guy that said it is 7 feet and 275 pounds with chest hair an inch thick. The mythical ultra bear. Are you real? Stop believing in me and find out. You'll make some beautiful babies. Random person in store line. Pretty sure they'd want to be referred to as sir. One time another guy at the gym who was using an adjacent locker caught up to me on the way out to tell me I had nice feet. He said that he notices things like that and that I must take care of them. I said thanks. He was nice. Never saw him again. Very strange. I was getting rid of my beard in stages and was down to a kind of modified goatee. I passed another guy on the street who turned around and ran up to me to tell me he liked my beard. I said thanks. Then he said I have a facial hair fetish. I wasn't sure what to do with that information, so I just said oh and kept walking. How come I'm in an emergency? Thanks, it's from years of growing up in an abusive household. You've got good ears. Not even pretty, but good. For context, I'm a 17-year-old male with long hair. The other day at work, I was watching self-checkout and some random 40, 50-ish lady who I don't know walks up to me and says, "You know you're really cute. Like a model?" I just kinda said thanks and awkwardly walked away. Many years ago, I had a man corner me with his grocery cart at the store so he could tell me I looked like a bacon and egg sandwich and good enough to eat. He then asked if I had a BF, which I said I did, and he replied, "How long have you had that problem?" Apparently he was into calling women snacks before that was a thing. Lol. How long have you had that problem? Creepy, overly confident and hilarious. I was wearing a green dress and blonde curls. "You look like the cute dog from Animal Crossing," said by a woman my age. "We are girlfriends now." I was wearing my tie-dye outfit, and this guy dressed in steampunk regalia yelled to me, "I love your outfit. You look like a video game." My fave compliment ever. Probably when a dude at the gym, pre-COVID, came up and slapped me on the shoulder and told me I had a nice broad back with good muscle definition. I'm a girl. Someone who was very crazy and probably on drugs once told me that I would make a really cute girl. It turns out they were right. I've been transitioning for a year and a half and have been ogled by men multiple times. Someone in my class, to my English teacher after a joke I made, "Teacher, don't you think that Ross will be an amazing wasted guy one day?" Someone new started up at my work a while ago. The first thing she says to me is, "You're so pretty. I love pregnant women." To which I responded in the most blunt way possible, "Oh yeah, I'm loving it. I'm about 15 months along now." The person walked away. The next day our manager said she quit. The age-old dilemma: live with the embarrassment or quit your new job. A 5-year-old boy walked up to my boyfriend at my nephew's birthday party and said, "You look evil, but I think that's cool." I was ringing up a customer when I worked in retail. She asked if anyone had ever told me that I had really beautiful cow eyes. I said, "What?" She told me that cows have the most beautiful eyes in the animal kingdom and that my eyes are exactly like that.